Nah,
You
start
actually
again.
made that a thing, huh?
It's time. 5 rounds. The UFC welterweight division.
It was
All right,
lightweight division, man, you bum.
man, lightweight division. All right, boys, we're back the day after UFC Vegas 31. We're covering the main event, Makhachev versus Moises. We're going to be looking through the card, picking the exciting fights, some technical fights, some straight up war fights that were on this card. Just one fight that we picked up that in the prelims. We're going to start off with the prelims this time, just because it's going to be a quick recap of the prelims and main event until the main event, because it was just a fight night. So Adele, take us away with the first fight of the prelims.
Alright, so Rodrigo Nascimento beat Alan Baudot by second round knockout, but it was like the funniest fight because it's like two unranked heavyweights, two coming off of a loss. So Nascimento's like a pure jiu-jitsu guy,
Yeah.
and then Baudot is like a good guy kickboxer, but he has nothing else to his game. So the first round goes, and it's like Baudot is beating the shit out of him. Like everything he wants to land, he's landing, and he's hurting him like on 2, 3 occasions.
Hmm.
And then when Nascimento goes for takedowns, he's not hiding his head, so he just gets elbowed to oblivion. And it looked like it could have been stopped at like a few points.
Yeah.
And I also couldn't get over how Nascimento looked like a bigger DC, just not built like a fridge. He just had
Yeah.
the same haircut, same everything. But besides that, like second round comes in, and it's like entirely different fight. Like Baudot got tired from just beating the shit out of him.
Hmm.
And then Nascimento's jab just started landing every single time he
Yep.
threw it. And then he threw some combinations, went to the body, finished to the head, and then Baudot was like gone.
Gone, gone. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like Baudot looks so good. Then if you don't have the cardio, if the guy lasts for like a little bit, like this is where like on the regional scene, a guy would have died by then.
Yeah.
But then that's the way it goes. Nascimento gets a win. Calls out Chase Sherman.
And the
That's gonna
heavy
be a good fight,
and the
hopefully. But yeah,
and the heavyweight division moves on. It was one of those typical heavyweight barn burner kind of fights, but you couldn't put this on like a main event card though. Like they were just both
it
like,
was a good fight. It was a really good fight
yeah.
though, because it like go into it like Baudot's got to win, right? Like
Hmm.
he's winning this and he's gonna win this easy.
Yeah.
But then it's like nope.
Good
There was
fight.
like the ambulance meme, right? Like
Yeah, I'm gonna call it out, but not for me. But yeah, it was a good fight to begin the card with. The heavyweight could have gone either way. Could have been a disaster fight. It could have been a sick fight, which it was. And that's how. I mean, considering how Rodrigo's style is, like I think he fought. What was his last fight? He fought Chris Dawkins, right?
yeah, and he got knocked out bad.
Yeah. Wasn't he trying to trying to clinch him up or something like
Yeah,
that? Or
no, because he's like a pure jiu-jitsu guy. Like the
yeah.
fight went the same way as against Dawkins, but Dawkins is more accurate. He's
Hmm.
like better, just more composure. But yeah, I mean, like I guess we've beaten that fight to the death though, so we can move on to. We want to talk about Figueiredo's brother, like shaming the family name. Um, Move on to Lemos versus Montserrat Ruiz or Conejo. I feel like they just changed that name on me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I looked at the picture. I was like, that ain't Conejo. Who is that? But I think like Conejo was her nickname or something like that. But yeah, this fight, I watched this fight just because I wanted to see her get knocked out, which she
Yeah,
did.
so
But we were
but she's
arguing.
only like she's fought 12 fights now and she's only got knocked out twice, which is or knocked out once, which is just interesting to me. Like she doesn't look like the greatest fighter, but then she gets wins.
Her,
So Lemos knocks her out in the first 30 seconds. Um,
but
Conejo, like the only bad thing about her is like she literally has that one move where like just judo toss you and then that's it.
and
They'll
the
just
and the
sit on you,
yeah, and it's
and
boring.
then
That's why I wanted to, because the last fight she did that all. I think it was a 3 round fight, right?
yep.
Yeah, and she was fighting an up and comer gal. I forget her name. Conejo.
Cheyenne buys like it was. She came off the contender series. She had some hype, and her husband was fighting on the card too, and they both
Yeah,
lost. It's kind
yeah,
of sad.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, so that fight, even she was just the lady that she was fighting there. The last fight, she was getting pissed at her because just all she was doing is just laying on her and doing nothing. There was no damage. She tried some submissions, and then everyone was like, "Yo, just screw her. We don't like her style of fighting."
Yeah, and Conejo was like, I think there was the allegation of like spitting or whatever. But
Yeah.
then he was like, "I'll follow you home, bitch." And then like I saw the meme where it was like, meanwhile later at the Cheyenne Bay's household, or Montreal's household, the same position going on, and I
Yeah,
died. Like
bro.
she sat there for 15 minutes and she couldn't do
Exactly.
anything. How are you
Yeah.
talking shit afterwards? But
Yeah.
okay, going on to the actual fight that happened. Lemos is actually a good fighter. Like
Yeah.
she had a USADA incident before, took 2 years out of her career, but every time she's shown up in the cage, she's just shown like a really good performance. Like she fought Miranda Granger, like subbed her out cold after
Hmm.
the 2 years out. Like mind you, like her first UFC fight was up 2 divisions against Leslie Smith, who now fights at 45s.
Sure. Yeah.
So Lemos fights at 115. Like that was a huge disadvantage. She
Hmm.
got knocked out in that fight. But yeah, now she's riddled 4 straight wins, 3 finishes, and she looks like a proper like future title contender. Not
She could.
title contender, but like she's gonna make waves in that
She
division.
belongs up there. Yeah, she's exciting. Her stand-up's clean. Like it's not like obviously like clean, 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 but like it's proper. Like
Yeah, no,
you see her, you can like okay, she knows what she's doing, standing up, and like she could execute whatever she's been she's been told to execute. Right? Some fighters like they can't. Like their coaches are saying something. Oh, we practice this, we practice this, but it's just obviously they haven't tried it in a real fight. But for her, like everything was so crisp. Her hooks were so
yeah, she
crisp.
looks super sharp.
Yeah, so I like the style of fighting. The thing is
Yeah,
though, she
so
called that top
Conejo
five.
kind of was just walking in though without like any regard for defense, and she got
Yeah.
stung right away.
Hmm.
Right hand, left hook, and then she's kind of wobbly, and then she ate some more counters. Did
Yeah.
you think it was a bad stoppage?
I do think it was a bad stoppage. The thing is, she got hurt. She. I don't think she wobbled. She got hurt. She was like, okay, I got hurt. She went down, just one punch to the ground, and she got back up. That's my whole thing. I'm like, before even we started the podcast, you were saying that oh, brain damage and all. I'm like, she got back up right away though. She wasn't gone at all. She just got shocked. Like, oh, she hit me with a real good
Yeah,
punch.
but the
She
moment
wobbled.
right after the fight, she's walking all the way backwards to the end of the cage, and she has her hands up, and she literally does not know where she is.
I
She would have just taken so much more damage, and then it would have been just stopped 10 seconds later.
I think you
I guess
see.
like it's early. It's early. Like
Yeah.
I could say that, but like I don't think it affected the result at all.
I think she was stunned, and when you're stunned, okay, it's
Okay,
okay
no
to like
shit.
go back.
She literally did not know where she was.
Yeah,
Like she
yeah,
walked all the way back. Like the ref was like,
yeah,
"Okay, bye bye," and
yeah,
then she's like, "Oh, oh, 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 oh,
y-
oh, 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 oh," and
yeah.
then you just seconds later.
I think you see. I think she was stunned, but
Oh,
Like
oh,
I could
there,
say
my
that,
mic
but
went. My
like
mic went.
I
No.
don't think it affected the result at all.
I think she was stunned, and when you're stunned, okay, it's
Okay,
okay
no
to like
shit.
go back. Okay, can you hear us? Hello.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, I can hear you now.
But you can hear yourself, huh?
Nah, not anymore. It's all good now.
No, wait.
You put it on mute, right? Okay. Well, yeah. So she was stunned, and I feel like the fight could have been finished if the ref allowed her to let like land 4 or 5 more punches. But I don't think it was necessarily like a good stoppage or anything. I think it was early because she wasn't gone. Like she was there. Like the thing is, when you ask yourself, was she actively defending herself? But she only got 2 punches though, like landed on her, and she was stunned. That was my thing
Yeah, no,
on
the
saying
ref
that.
stopped it like 2, 3 punches early. Like she still landed some late shots in there.
Exactly. And then when she fell down, she only got one shot to the face, and I was like, okay, she's up though. She's up right away. So
Yeah.
yeah, for me it was an early stoppage. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I could say yeah, early for sure. Like especially when the ref stopped it, but like I don't think it would have changed the result at all. And she was just gonna eat way more damage.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
yeah, moving on, we
Moving
can
on.
go to
The main card now.
main card. We're not going to talk about D Rod being the crap out of a debuter. D
Yeah.
Rod should be past that. Like we should be seeing good fights for D Rod.
Yeah, D Rod's a sick man, bro. His hands, I love his hands, bro. The way he boxes and everything, it's so clean. I like the way his stand up has come so far, man. It's so sick. The Perry fight, that fight was so sick because people actually knew like who D Rod was now. Like before, he was okay. He was on Dana White series, right?
I don't think so.
I think he was. Let's see.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, yeah,
Damn.
he
Oh, he didn't get
was.
the contract though.
Yeah, he didn't get the contract, so I
'Cause
think
I remember him coming up on short notice against Tim Means in Tim Means' backyard and beating the crap out of him.
yeah. So he definitely like evolved a lot from his losses or whatever it was, like him not getting the contract and all that. But yeah, so
But
overall,
he won on the contender series. He just didn't get the contract. Like he's 5-1 in the UFC.
why didn't he get the contract then?
Okay, like that's the thing about contender series, right? Like you could be a good fighter and win super dominantly, but if Dana doesn't see like a finish or like something cool, he won't sign you.
Ah, but hey, he he for his first UFC fight, he got knocked out by Leslie Smith, and then it's
No, like
no this
Lemos, that's you
this
sometimes have to take those stupid fights coming in too. Like Leslie is so much bigger.
yeah.
Like that was 2, 3 weight classes above her.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just how you get in the door sometimes, right?
Yep.
So
You just have to do same with Moutinho. Did you see what happened to Moutinho? When my guy went from like what 4,000 followers to 140,000 now.
just by getting an ass beating,
Exactly, and won the fight of the night bonus or performance of the night, whatever. What did he perform? He was just there being a punching bag.
fight of the night.
Yeah. What did he?
It wasn't even fight of the night though. Like I don't think that was the best fight of that.
It wasn't. He was just being a punching bag, and people liked it because he wasn't getting knocked out. Simple.
I thought the best fight on that card was Jessica I and then Jennifer Maya, but then you're never gonna give those people fight of the night, huh?
Yeah, yeah. You're not getting.
It's just
Bro,
bad for your image.
yeah, bro. D-Rock trains with Cowboy BMF ranch. What?
Yeah.
Cowboy got his own gym, like that. Like, fight. He's training fighters out of his own gym.
He's had that for like 5, 6 years now. Longer.
Ah, like I knew he had a gym, but I never knew like people actually went there to like for fight camps.
Yeah, no, but that's why like Yair Rodriguez sometimes goes there too, but like that's why there's the whole issue with Jackson Wing too. Like back when Cowboy and Perry were fighting. Like
Yeah.
that's why because like Jackson Wing were pissed off at him going like you aren't 100% on our gym, right? Like you'd rather go to yours. But
Ah.
yeah, so
Let's move on to the main card now.
the main card, Billy Q
Billy Q,
and
Gabriel
Gabriel Benitez.
Benitez.
Billy Q TKOs. Oh wait, no, not TK. Yeah. Oh yeah, TKOs from the back
From the back, yeah.
in the third round against Mowgli Benitez.
Yeah.
But yeah, two really good fighters in featherweight division, two underrated guys. Like Billy Q's just that sort of guy where you could hit him with anything and he's just gonna keep coming forward. His cardio is insane.
Yeah.
That's how he's won most of his fights. But coming off the last in his last fight against Gavin Tucker, just like he got Billy Q'd in that fight. Like Gavin Tucker out hustled him everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like a really good comeback fight for him. Like drops Mowgli in the first minute, I think it was,
Yeah.
with a right hand, and then just like took the back early. Got the same thing in the second round, same thing in the third round. He may get gotten like stung with a few body shots and like a few nice shots here and there, but you can't get him out of there. Like this is that's the thing about Billy Q.
He's got a chin on him, man. He's got a chin on him. Decent fighter. Like, what is he doing right now? This bout was with a lightweight.
Featherweight.
Okay, yeah. I mean, he's unranked featherweight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who's ranked 15 featherweight right now?
Like he's right on the cusp of it, right? Like Gavin Tucker got a shot against Dan Ige not that long ago, and Gavin Tucker's last win was Billy Q. So
I mean, yeah, you could also do featherweight with Mean Hakeem versus Billy Q. Why not? He lost his last fight.
yeah, I could see that,
You could
but
do that for him.
yeah, no, but like Mowgli Benitez is like one of those action fighters at featherweight and lightweight, but I think he was just over reliant on his weapons and didn't actually think that Billy would hurt him because Billy hasn't shown like punching power that like could actually drop people in his previous UFC fights, and like right away Benitez got dropped. So yeah. But that was a good fight. Like really high pace, not like the most technical fight, but like really good fight.
It was a really good fight. Yeah, it was one of those fights that you'd actually sit down to watch because people wouldn't expect it, and it was one of those fights like you're eating your food and just you focus on eating your food and you look up, oh shit, there's a fight going on, and it's a good fight, and you actually start watching that fight. It was one of those fights.
Yeah, but the stoppage was interesting because like Mowgli took a lot of damage beforehand.
Yeah.
Like his eye was beyond fucked.
It was gone. Yeah.
But yeah, no, they usually don't stop it from like the back and just getting hit from there, right? I think that was one of the first times I've seen that.
But the damage is piled up though, right? So
yeah,
let's see.
Because at a certain point, it just gets too much.
Yeah.
Like he's not gonna get out like to save them.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. I agree. Okay. You want to move on to Jeremy Stevens?
Yeah. So Jeremy Stevens coming back up to 55 after a long time. He's coming off of 4 straight losses with the no contest thrown in there with Yair eye poking him in the first 15 seconds. But the thing about Stevens is he's that top 10 gatekeeper for featherweight. Like he's gonna bring guaranteed action every time he fights.
Yeah.
But I think recently, like he's really showing like the technical deficiencies that he's just not gonna like. He just can't hang at that high level anymore.
Hmm.
Granted, he lost against like the best of the best at featherweight, like Zabit, Calvin Cater, Yair Rodriguez, Jose Aldo, like, and these guys are finishing him too. So,
Yeah, it's time to get him moved off
so
the
with
rankings.
coming back up to 55, he's supposed to fight Drakkar Close, but then he won push TKO,
By push TKO. When I push
and
people, when I push people, they don't have to move.
apparently they move way too much. So
And they get hurt.
yeah, like I think that the UFC really screwed him because at least if he fought close, it would have been a good fight, like action wise, like he would have had a chance in there. But
Sure.
Gamrot is like an underrated guy at 55. Like I
Yeah.
think he was undefeated at 17-0 coming into the UFC, like two division KSW champion.
Hmm. Yeah.
So like he had some hype coming in, and then came in short notice against the guy, and then lost a split decision and a decision that most people thought he won or should have gotten. Then comes back next fight, TKO's Scotty Holtzman, and now he subs Jeremy Stevens in a minute. So
Yeah.
he's on the up and up.
He's a good fighter. He's unranked, right?
Yeah, but
So
he should be ranked soon.
yeah.
Like I know it takes a long time to be ranked at lightweight, but he's really good. He's gonna get there.
Yeah. Yeah. Talking about wait, this wasn't lightweight fight though. This was featherweight fight.
No, Stevens moved up to lightweight.
Oh. Oh. I did not
I
know
just went
that.
on that whole thing just saying like, oh, Stevens coming up from featherweight after a long time, and you just go like, oh, that's a featherweight. Ho ho.
Oh, stop. Allow me, allow me. I was looking at the rankings for the featherweight division. I was looking for his name, and I was like, "Dang, he's not here." Okay, so moving on to Misha Tate, her comeback after 5 years, winning the belt against Home, and then getting murked by Nunez. I think it was Nunez right after the Home fight.
Yeah, so she lost her belt 4 months after,
Yeah,
and then she fought at MSG on the Eddie Alvarez and Connor card
yeah,
against
and
Raquel Pennington, and
she
then
lost that one.
she just looked like she didn't want to be in there in that fight, and then retired after.
Yeah,
But like she's still at number 2 at the time, so
good fighter. Yeah, good fighter. Good
yeah.
fighter. What did you make out of her performance yesterday? I felt she looked really good. She was in incredible shape. She looked fast, right? She looked like she didn't look rusty to me, to be honest. What would you say?
It looked like Misha Tate in there. Like her right hand looked sharper than usual, but she's never had like the best footwork. Like she's
Yeah.
normally plotting. Like it looked a little bit better
Yeah.
in terms of defense. So yeah, like she looked good in there. Like she looked like she hadn't lost a step at all.
I agree. I agree with that. The thing is, the competition, like you before the podcast, we were talking about it. Like you're telling me like she's 44, she's on her way out. Okay, sick matchmaking, good matchmaking. It wasn't like they just fed her a bum or something. No, she was a good fighter. But like and I'm not saying that that fight was not supposed to be made or something like that. But again, why wouldn't you give her like she even ranked? The lady that she fought?
She was 12. So it was perfect matchmaking in the thing that like Renault never really gets blown out in any of her fights. Like
Uh-huh.
she'd lose, but then it's like at least competitive. But and she's never been finished in her whole career until
Yeah.
yesterday. So big feather in the cap for Misha Tate.
Yeah.
And she's like her retirement fight versus Misha Tate coming back. Like it was just a good storyline.
Sure. Yeah, it
And
aligned well. That's why I think you said it was a good matchmaking. I agree with it now. What are you saying about her fighting Holly Holmes for the second time? Why not get that
I
boost
think
right up to the
I
second
think
ranking?
that's a little bit too soon. I
Yeah.
think like she should fight one fight in between.
Sure. What would
But
you say?
Holly Holm, like who is she supposed to fight now, right?
Exactly. Yeah. She's not getting another
So,
title. Hopefully, she doesn't get another title shot. Please. She's been getting title shots for days now.
but like her last win was against Irene in a main event, and then I guess you could make Holly Holm and Aspen Ladd, or the winner of Aspen Ladd and Macy Chasson
Uh
for
huh. Uh
that's
huh.
happening next week, I think, or this weekend. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's happened next week, I
so
think.
you can always do that. Like Holly Holm and Aspen Ladd were matched up before too. But yeah, like that whole division, I don't. It's hard to see because there's like a huge
Gap.
talent disadvantage between
Yeah.
like the champion to the number 1 contender to the number 2 contender and then everybody else.
Yeah.
So, but it's a good story for Misha Tate to come back and she's gonna get like nice ranking, like, maybe top 10,
What
maybe
about
just 12. But
what do you say about
yeah, good for
Aldana?
her. Good win, gets her on the map again.
What do you say about Aldana? Aldana Tate?
Um, I think
Who should
Irene
they
should
take
get a
over?
title eliminator next because she hasn't fought Nunez, but she might actually just get a title shot like off of that first round knockout she just had. So
She could, yeah. She
because
has.
Nunez isn't gonna fight anybody at 45s, and
Bro, they took off all the rankings. Like I'm looking at the UFC rankings right now, the women's featherweight division. There is no ranking no more.
they've never had rankings ever. They haven't had 15 fighters at a point. Like they maybe had max 5.
Dang. So Amanda Nunes just gonna they're just gonna retire the division with her being the champ, pretty much.
Yeah, I think like I don't think you retired the division because then you could still say like Nunez is double champion.
And
I think
sell
that's the only thing
and sell it
that's
that way.
stopping them from doing that. But I don't anticipate any featherweight fights happening anytime soon. Like Felicia Spencer's there, but like she just lost her last fight and she didn't look great in it. And then there's Danielle Wolf who's 1-0. So you can make that fight again, like you can
No,
rebook that,
no,
but then that's
no.
literally it.
Yeah, no. There's no. Don't make that. Don't make that. You're losing credibility that way,
This
bro.
is what I'm saying. Like Irene could get a title shot because there's nothing really stopping. Look, there's no other better contender in those divisions that
Yeah,
you can go to Nunez.
you got
Like
yeah,
Juliana Pena just got one off of beating Sarah McMahon.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's embarrassing.
That is 100% because it's just about the gap between the champion versus the contenders. There's like, oh, okay, she won, she looked okay, just give her the title shot now. That's what I'm saying with Misha Tate too. Like you suggested, give her one more fight. Let's see how she. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Holly Holm, like I feel like she's okay fighter, decent fighter, but she's kinda like on the tail end of her career in my opinion. Still a sick fighter, but I'm like Misha Tate looked really good. Why not?
Like I think you could do Yana Kunitskaya or a Kellen Vieira against Misha Tate and it works. Like stylistically at least it makes
Yeah,
sense. Like
yeah, good fights for
but
her.
yeah. So
Good fights
I
for her
guess
in that division, man.
yeah, but
I think
it's
at the
interesting for Renault though because like she started her career at like 34.
yeah,
At 36 they said she was too old to get in the UFC.
and then
And to forge out a nice career there, she has some nice ones like over Sarah McMahon and Jessica Andrade. Like I think she was max number 6 at one point. Like she's fought the best of the best,
100%. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
like a lot of people are like saying like oh Misha Tate just beat a grandma or like she just beat like a 500 fighter, but like in the women's divisions, records barely matter because you know they're fighting the top competition right away. Raquel Pennington has a 500 record, and nobody is gonna say she's bad. Like she's fought everybody that
Hundred
you can
percent.
fight.
Yeah, that's how it is, man. With the divisions and with the competition level too, right? Like with the UFC, they don't care. They'll feed you to the dogs right away,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the best part about
Because
the sport.
in Invicta, you do that. Like Rose Namajunas does not have the cleanest record, but
Nah, and look at her.
she
Look,
started her career when she was like 20 and
and
fought Tisha Torres like right away. Like that's just what happens.
yeah, and look how good she is, and look how her career went. So that's
Like you compare her and Zhang Wei Li's record, like it was 21-1 versus like 10-4.
yeah,
Like if you're looking at that just
yeah,
out as an outsider's perspective, not knowing anything about the fighters, you're like, what the heck? Why is this matchup being made? But then
exactly.
no, those like you learn way more in your losses anyway.
100%, and that's why the records don't matter really. It's just the fighter, and how the fighter evolves. The record shouldn't matter at all. Like, oh, this guy's this and that. It doesn't matter. Okay, moving on.
That gets us into our main event, where
Yes,
Islam Makhachev out hustled
versus
and beat the shit out of Thiago
Thiago
Moises
Moises.
and finished him
Yep,
in the fourth round via submission, rear naked choke.
good
His
matchmaking.
back-to-back submissions for him,
Yep, good matchmaking for
and he
Moises.
should get the rocket ship now.
I don't think he does. He should get another fight like big name and then get the rocket ship. He will because he deserves it. 100% deserves it. But
Nah,
then
but they gave him his own main event,
yeah,
and against a fighter he should be beating. Like Moises is a really good grappler,
I
good
mean,
striking, like good, well-rounded fighter, and he's only 26 years old. Like
yeah,
he's gonna be good eventually, like
yeah,
a top 10 contender. But like this is where you see like he just wasn't ready for it at the moment. Like he got mentally broken in there, especially in the middle of the third round. You could see Moises break a little because he got the takedown and then immediately got reversed into a terrible position.
yeah.
And then it's just like you see the look on his face, and it's like, God damn it!
Like all them wrestling lessons. What for? So basically, my question is to you, bro. Moises, black belt, never been submitted, anything like that. Islam comes in, puts on a show. Bro, this is what I'm saying. My take on Islam Makhachev, I like him better than Khabib, right? Khabib most dominant ever as of now, but Makhachev is like a more polished version of Khabib in my opinion. But on the ground though, like I feel like on the ground with the trips and like with the positioning, Khabib's better there. But obviously Makhachev's gonna get better, obviously.
I
Uh,
think athletically, Khabib is just so much better.
yeah,
But
yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that take. The thing is, though, with Islam, his striking is so sick, like it's so crisp and technical. I actually enjoy watching because the thing is, he can do the same thing on the foot as he can do on the ground. Like with Khabib, okay, his striking was good, but it looks kind of like here and there for casuals, it would look like he doesn't know how to strike, but people know like he knows how to strike. It's there's still a
But
danger
his
there. With
striking set up his wrestling perfectly, right? Like against
perfect, yeah,
Gaethje, it was all about just setting a high pace. It doesn't matter about
yeah,
getting like them actually landing. You
yeah,
just need to get somebody going backwards,
exactly.
and then they're gonna make mistakes. That's how Khabib won most of his fights. You just have to force somebody to make mistakes and then impose your own game plan. What Islam does is like way more technical, way
And I
more
love it,
methodical.
and I love
He
it.
takes way less damage.
And it's exciting. I like watching Islam more than Khabib. It's because the striking part too. I'm like, bro, he knows what he's doing striking. The thing is, his corner always says takedown, takedown, takedown. Bro, let him show his striking because he's sick at his striking and his kickboxing. Look at that, a guy actually fighting in the kickboxing gym. This is a joke you made earlier, so I'm just gonna polish it and present it. A guy fighting at a kickboxing gym actually using kickboxing.
Yeah, like,
Yeah,
and all of his coaches are telling him to wrestle.
the
His
wrestle.
his world champion kickboxer coach, guy, what are you doing? Wrestle.
Just
Come on, do it.
wrestle.
Come on.
And Makashev's not. I'm gonna kickbox, strike, and then wrestle. That was the best part, and I'm actually excited to see him more. Like I want to see him against RDA. I want to see him against like a Benny, like you suggested. But Benny won't take it like year end. He wants probably gonna take it next year. Uh, I want to see him against a Chandler. Why not a Chandler? Chandler looks sick, wrestling wise. I think he can handle the pace.
Yes, but they like to do winner against winner and loser against loser. But this is why I'm like, okay, if you're taking that hat off and like forget how UFC match makes it, but I think you would do Islam and Gaethje, give him the rocket ship, get Gaethje that matchup to like get the bad taste in your mouth out. Like if you're gonna prove yourself at that level, like that you're ready to be a champion at that point,
Yeah,
you that's a win you would want to have back.
sure,
And
hundred
this is the
percent,
best way you're gonna find that.
sure.
But and that's an easy main event. He could probably even get it in Arizona, like back into his like home place.
Yeah,
So I think that's just a logical thing for him. But then and then you'd make Chandler an RDA, where I like that fight because it's like give Chandler a little bit of a step back because maybe he got a little bit like you already gave him a title shot. Just give him like a little bit backwards
yeah,
just to go like okay, earn your spot here.
yeah. I agree with
And
that
then for
totally.
RDA, you get a nice matchup after beating Paul Felder in a main event and like earning his ranking.
Yeah,
So I think that checks all the boxes there. I guess you could make Chandler and Gaethje insane action fight, and their timelines match up. But for all these guys like looking to fight at the end of the year anyway, I think only Benny is who's like, okay, yeah, I don't want to fight this for this year anyway.
yeah.
So you could throw Benny in there afterwards, but I think those are the two fights you would want to have towards the end of the year at least, like either in
Gaethje
co-main
Chandler or
event
yeah,
or like a 5 round Vegas thing.
yeah,
Because I think if you're doing Chandler and Gaethje, you would want a 3 rounder.
yeah.
But then I think
Cause
if you're trying to do any of those matchups I suggested, you'd want to say 5 rounds.
yeah, but the thing is, also gotta see this like RDA Chandler fight. RDA just made weight against in the Conor Poirier card, so I feel like he's good to go. I feel like if they book RDA versus Chandler for like September, October, I think he'll be fine. I think if they book just Gaethje versus Makhachev for October, November, I think he should be fine because took a whole year off now. I mean, he didn't really do it, but UFC kind of like murked him in my opinion. Uh, that's Gaethje I'm talking about. Benny, you just let him be for now because he's on a 7-fight win streak. He's having a baby, so let him be for now. He's gonna come back. He's not gonna deny any of the matches that they're gonna offer him. I feel like he's gonna take anyone because he can
Mhm.
hang with them. The thing with Gaethje though is, in Gaethje's position, he just fought for the title. Him fighting a number 7 or 8 ranked guy, that's a good win. I agree with your take, but my opinion on this is like he fights him. Sure, he gets the bad taste out of his mouth. I agree completely with all of that. The thing is, why would you want to risk your position to a guy like Islam now? Why not get like an action packed fight in against Chandler, which is in your own dominion. Like you love those violent fights. Like Gaethje loves those kind of fights, right? Get that. Let's see if he gets that W in, and that will make a better case for a title shot than a thing. Makhachev fight. Because I'm Gaethje,
That's
I'm gonna.
this is where we disagree, right? Like, I think if Gaethje beats Islam, that's a better chance to get a title shot after versus if he beats a Chandler. Because then Chandler would be like, I think everybody would hop off that bus like, oh, because if Chandler loses against Gaethje, he most likely gets knocked out. Like, if he's gonna lose, he's gonna get knocked out. So then now you're like, now the narrative becomes you just beat the Bellator guy who came
Yeah.
in here, got a lucky win, and now got knocked out twice. Versus if you beat Islam, you beat the next Khabib and you avenged yourself.
Sure, I agree with that. Sure, yeah, you presented this way. I agree with that. Yeah, it's bad for Chandler then. But Chandler RDA makes the most sense now. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's why Chandler RDA makes sense. Give him a step back. Not really a step back. Let him prove himself against like an RDA guy. Gets that W. Goes back. Gets some confidence too. Because in my opinion, Chandler belongs to the UFC. There's people are just done with the narratives right now. Bellator. No, he belongs in there, right? He belongs. He's a sick fighter. I like watching Michael Chandler, and he could hang with all the top fives and anybody. And this is where I'm excited for next year as well. Like Poirier, Oliveira, if they fight in December, let's say Charles wins the fight. Let's say there's so many sick matchups of Poirier. He could move up too. Let's say. And if Poirier wins, and there's so many sick matchups like on the ground for Oliveira to like get a next title shot or win, get some wins again. For like, let's see a Benny Jiu-Jitsu guys, let's see Makhachev ground guys, the wrestling, jiu-jitsu, whatever. There's so many good matchups for Oliveira too in this division. That's the best part about it.
That's the thing. You can match up anybody and you won't get a terrible matchup.
Yeah,
Like RDA Chandler
yeah,
stylistically, that's really cool.
yeah.
Gaethje and Islam, it's like a Khabib sort of matchup, but then like Gaethje has the more time and space on the feet to get a striking going.
Get a striking going. But the thing is, Makhachev gets a striking going too. That's the dangerous part. Khabib's
You know,
striking
but
is more pressure.
this is where the danger is. Like that's why it's a much better fight for me because
Yeah,
like it's going to be lower output,
yeah.
but Gaethje can add up the leg kicks and add up the headshots just and work at his own pace rather than like what Khabib did to him, right? Like just
Hmm.
straight going backwards and forcing him to be a reactive from minute one.
I feel like Khabib's gonna tell Makhachev to do the same thing then, because it worked the first time. Why not do the same thing
Yeah,
again?
but that's not Islam's game. That's the thing. That's why it makes it interesting to me.
True, 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 true. Talk. I gotta talk to you about this. I feel like they called RDA to make weight last week because they knew about like somebody could pull out. Like I think Connor could have pulled out. What's your opinion on this? I feel like they called RDA just in case because of that, because he had that
No, okay.
injury.
This is the funny part because Max Holloway was supposed to be the backup
Yeah,
as a scheduled fighter. With
yeah,
he was supposed to be scheduled for Yair the next week,
yeah.
so he was the unofficial backup there.
Hmm.
But then he was also fighting the next weekend. So they just had him there in case, I guess. But then RDA was like, he literally volunteered himself just to go there. Nobody told him to. He just went there.
Oh, okay, okay. I did not know that part. But why would you have Holloway as a backup when he's fighting the main event next week? What? What?
Yeah, no, I didn't get that part really, but like,
So he's gonna
I
come with
guess for
twice.
Holloway, like,
Yeah,
you'd
yeah,
rather a rematch or like a trilogy or whatever
yeah.
than
Talking
like
about
Yair.
talking about Holloway, bro. I was watching Holloway versus Edgar. Bro, Edgar had no answer for Holloway that fight. I was
Mhm.
watching on Fight Pass 2 nights ago. Same night I was watching DC and Miocic. Randomly put on UFC Fight Pass on my TV, and bang bang, there's a sick Holloway fight. Max Bless Holloway, the pride of Hawaii. So I was watching that fight. And I was like, bro, damn, Edgar has no answer for his striking or his
And
anything.
Frankie looked good in that fight. Like Frankie looked like Frankie.
He looked like what he was supposed to look like, Frankie Edgar, but he had no answer for that. And after that fight, he dropped below, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
No,
those
wait, no. He fought Zombie short notice and then he dropped.
and then he lost and he dropped again, right? Yeah, it was super super sad though what
Because he was
happened.
supposed to fight Sandhagen, but then they offered him Zombie.
Ah, Sanhagen at 135, obviously, right? Which
Yeah.
later got made, and then we know what happened. Got sent to the
But I
shadow
think
realms.
that fight was really good for Holloway too, because it was he just came off that loss against DP.
Yeah, no shame in that
Frank
loss.
Edgar
Yeah,
coming off the win against Cub, like he earned that title shot before, but then he
yeah,
got knocked out by Ortega, then got one win back, and then they repaid him.
yeah.
But it was really good for him just to stabilize that like my skills for this division are just above everybody else.
100%, 100%. And the DP loss that doesn't put like a taint on his legacy or anything. It's DP's. He was just better that night, and it was a
Yeah,
good
no. If
fight.
anything, it enhances his stock because it's like you could hit this guy with anything, and
Yeah,
he's just gonna keep coming.
yeah, yeah. And then I feel like he didn't have the same aura in the ring against DP that he has against other featherweights. Because other featherweights, he looks like he owns them pretty much. It feels
Mhm.
like that. His striking, he's so confident. He's holding the ring against DP. DP's the same guy, and DP's like, okay, I'm gonna meet
You
you in
know,
the
but
middle.
DP is also a super awkward guy to fight because everything he does is like offbeat timing. Like that right hand from like super far away should
Yeah,
not hit Max. Like Max was like in the post fight, he's literally like, I saw the right hand. I was like, I will block this, but then it just comes at a weird time for you, and then you
yeah.
just get hit. And then his guard is weird too. Like it's like oh, and
Yeah.
then you can't hit him, and it's like okay, what are we doing here?
Yeah, his time DP's more definitely more of like a timing and a rhythm kind of guy, and then once he settles into his rhythm, it's night night pretty much for me for
Nah,
him.
but when Holloway's in his flow, like when he's moving around, head
Yeah,
body,
that's why you couldn't
he's
do it.
so pretty to
That
watch.
yeah, that's why you couldn't do that against DP though, just because how awkward he was, and was that showed. But again, yeah, Max shouldn't move up to lightweight now, man. His frame, you could tell the difference between the frames. Wide body DP versus 55 Holloway. Nah, different, different. Okay, that brings us to the end. We talked about the matchups for Islam, Moises, and how the lightweight division looks, the picture looks, how what matchup we would like to see like next, potentially end of the year for Gaethje, Chandler, Makhachev, Benny, all these guys in the picture. The one guy we didn't talk about though, Phony Turkison.
I think he should fight Gregor Gillespie.
That's a good matchup. But again, it's another wrestling ground guy matchup, and which he got dominated the past two fights. Why not give
Yeah,
him a
no, but
strike
at
in that?
least I think it's like Gregor Gillespie deserves that sort of shot again.
Yeah,
Like,
good for
but
his growth. Yeah,
and for Tony, it's a step back.
yeah. As it should be. As it should be. He gets that win against Gillespie. I think he's back in like the mix. He should fight like the 5 to 10 ranked guy then. I don't think Gillespie's 10 under 10, right?
He's 10.
He's 10. Okay. Then he could potentially fight like a hooker. Tony could potentially fight like a hooker or
And
something.
there's also a gigantic size difference in that fight too. Like Gillespie could make 45.
Easy, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, good matchup for Phony Ferguson though. Let's see if they can get that because Dano's talking about it. He's trying to get for Ferguson booked for the end of the year
Well,
as
I
well.
said Gillespie would have been a fun matchup because that those timelines match up.
Yeah, yeah,
And yeah, no, I think that's a really good matchup for Tony because like much bigger, like good guy wrestling base, but Gillespie doesn't really pose the submission threat or like the at least the power threat that Oliveira and Benny showed.
hmm
So like it's a better matchup in that case, but yeah.
yeah. I love how everyone like in the MMA community just backing Tony forever now. Like every single fight we want a Phony Ferguson win, man. This ain't no Tony Ferguson. We want Phony Ferguson win. All right, just for the love of it. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's wrap up this show the day after UFC Vegas
Dillashaw
31.
Sandhagen next week.
That's gonna be a
What are
sick.
your thoughts?
My thoughts for that fight, I feel like I listen. Call me a madman. I feel like Dillashaw's gonna get it done. I have a feeling. I have a
Yeah,
feeling
no,
Dillashaw's gonna get it done. Even
because
though he might get sent to the shadow realm, I feel like he's gonna get it done. I have a feeling. It's just he still have skills. It's not like he's been super inactive. Like when was his last fight? It was 2019, mid 2019, right?
early 2019 he got pieced in 30 seconds.
Yeah, that was EPO fight, right? And then COVID hit, so he couldn't fight anyway. So I feel like it wasn't that long in terms of like just fighting kind of thing.
Yeah, no, but now he's 35, coming off a double shoulder surgery.
Oh, he got a double surgery done? I thought it was only one. Dang. Uh, but yeah, I just have a feeling Killashaw's has got them skill sets,
So
man.
I was like, okay, objectively speaking, Sandhagen should absolutely beat the brakes off of him. Like
100%.
the range advantage,
Mm-hmm.
just how good been looking recently. TJ's a good wrestler, but Sandhagen's a really good grappler too.
100%.
Um, and then Ali was like, okay, I can totally see Dillashaw like sparking him, and I was like, you know what? I can see that too.
Same.
Like, because Dillashaw only needs that one counter, and
Mm-hmm.
both of them leave themselves open.
Hundred
Like
percent. Yes, there's space to hit him, and that's what I was like saying. That's what I was saying before I started. Like, call me a madman, because there's recency bias clearly here. Because Sandigan's coming off two great TKOs, like crazy KOs, and they weren't even TKOs; they're just KOs. And so there's some recency bias. Oh, he's gonna spark him and anything like that. But TJ, let's remember, TJ Dillashaw is a two-time bantamweight champion, coming off a surgery. Regardless, that he still is in camp and everything. I feel like he's gonna spark him. Do I want him? Do I want TJ to win? No, I want Corey to win. But do I think that TJ's gonna win? I feel like TJ's gonna get it done. He's gonna get a. I feel like it's gonna be decision though. I don't think it's gonna be KO. He's gonna hurt him.
100% somebody is gonna die.
He's gonna hurt him, but I feel like it's gonna be a decision win.
Because both of them throw too much and add up too much damage to not finish somebody.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
TJ is gonna wrestle a lot, but then I don't think that's gonna get him anywhere. Because I think Sandhagen's a black belt too, and Asan Sao tried that against him, and that just didn't work for him.
Exactly. I mean, so why would TJ do that then?
No, because you got to mix it up, right? Like this is a 5'6.5" dude versus a 5'11" guy who knows how to use his range.
Exactly. Exactly. TJ got
So
to work more on the inside. Let's see how that goes.
that's what he has to mix it up. That's
Yeah.
like he has to go for takedowns. You have to add that element.
100%. It's an exciting fight though. Next week's
Oh
card's
yeah,
good as well. Macy Barber's back. Aspen Ladd's back. So decent card. Another decent fight night, and then after that it's Derek Lewis, right?
yeah. So no, wait, no. There's
Let's see.
Hall and Strickland. That's like the most forgettable card ever.
I'm kind of excited for Strickland though. I'm kind of wait, what? Holland's back? No, no, bro. Uriah
What?
Hall. Oh, I thought you said Holland.
You're a bum. You're
I thought-
actually a bum. I said
thought-
Hall and Strickland. You
Oh.
probably thought Hall in.
Yeah. So I thought Holland. I was like, what? Kevin Holland? Holland Magomedov? He's coming back from the mountains. But yeah, I'm excited for Sean Strickland though. I'm excited because his last fight was really good. I enjoyed his last fight.
He's a good fighter, but I don't think he's ever like gonna be elite.
He's not a contender fighter. He's like a 5 to 10 rank kind of fighter. He's good. He could get it done. Let's see how he does against Uriah Hall. Good little comeback fight for Uriah Hall too after the Weidman fight. So good thing the UFC booked him quick.
I mean, it's not really a comeback for Uriah. It's like he's like on a 4 or 5 fight win streak now against like decent guys. So he should have probably gotten somebody better than Strickland, but
yeah,
that's where the cookie crumbled for him.
The timeline's mashed. Yeah, but that fight in that card is so bad. They got Choi Do-hoo. That's sick fight. I feel like
He
he's.
pulled out recently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was super sad. I was like, that's my boy right there.
That isn't that Ali's favorite fighter too?
No,
Oh, isn't he Korean? He's Korean.
no. Oh wait, no, Superboy. He's one of my favorite fighters, but not one of Ali's.
Bro, I'm looking at the card. There's only five fights.
What?
There's only 5 fights. I'm looking at the card. What? Am I looking at the wrong thing? No, I'm not. Hold on.
You're probably looking at the wrong thing.
Okay, Hall Strickland. Let's click on it. Yeah. Oh no, I was.
There's announced bouts.
Oh, Askarov's on that card.
No, he pulled out.
Oh, pull up, bro. These guys are pull up merchants. Come on, everyone's pulling out.
Yeah, so you have to look at announced bouts, but some of them like recently changed. But Nico Montano coming back after freaking a billion years out and a billion pullouts. Jinyu Fry coming back and Yoder. Yeah, no, this is such a terrible. Like it could be a good fight, like a good card action wise, but like it's just a terrible card name wise.
Watch us saying this like 2 weeks later, the day after UFC. What was it? UFC Fight Night.
It's on ESPN, like the big one.
Yeah, so UFC Fight Night Hall Strickland. We're gonna be, oh shit, the card would look on paper so bad, but look at the action. You know what I mean?
You know, it's always the cards that look bad on paper that are insane.
Yeah. So
but
after that, we got Derek Lewis and gone. Oh, Aldo's back, bro. What?
Against Munoz.
Aldo's
We talked about this before, man. We literally talked about this before on the podcast.
No, we talked about the fight, but we didn't talk about when it was gonna happen. I feel like.
That was literally a part of the conversation.
No, you said Aldo Munoz are gonna fight next, but we didn't say.
Yeah, no, but I said that in like on the August card, like because we thought Ngannou and Derek Lewis were gonna fight.
Yeah.
I was like, that main card is actually stacked. Like they don't need.
Oh, bro.
Like it's short of names and like pay-per-view value, but like, damn.
Our boy Song Yadong's back too. He's fighting Casey Kenny. Let's see how that goes.
That's a good fight. Okay, yeah, but I think that's a good point to stop for
let's
today.
Wrap it up. All right, boys. The day after UFC Vegas 31, Makhachev versus Moises. Talked about all the exciting fights. Talked about the main event. Talked about the title picture. Talked about what's next for these fighters. And we'll be joining you guys for Dillashaw versus Sandhagen next week. Let's hope TJ Dillashaw gets it done. Heart says TJ. Mine says Corey. So let's see how that goes. And any last words, Adil?
I still need to get TJ knocked out a little bit more, one more time, maybe twice, just to get over the Cody losses. But yeah,
Talk about TJ. Finishing it off. He has a company called Clean Juice, and we're gonna end it off on this. He's running a goddamn food truck called Clean Juice. So that's troll level to the max. Man calls himself a snake now. Man calls himself. Man made a whole company called Clean Juice just after the EPO incident. So that's a good way to end it off. Everybody, go get some TJ Dillashaw's Clean Juice and get juiced up, boy. All right, let's